I read an article from the internet. I was moved by it at that moment, so I copied the text because it is written uh, in Chinese. So I copied the text into the Baidu Translate and get the English text. Uh, so here I want to read the English test to practice my English. Okay, let's get started. The father in the corner, helping 大将 move house. 大将 squatted on the ground and cried while sorting out a pile of old books. What 大将 opened was a notebook which recorded daily expenses one by one, as clean as $1 breakfast and $3 lunch. Later, 大将 told me a story about he and his father. 大将's home is in a village in the countryside of Xuzhou. In his memory, his father has been working part-time near Xuzhou railway station, and it is rare to return home once. When 大将 was admitted to a university in Xi'an, his father took out a bag of money from the bank, counted each one with saliva. Let me check how to pronounce it.
Saliva.
With saliva, and counted them again and again. When he was a freshman, 大将 was addicted.
Addicted.
Was addicted to online games and often spent the whole night in the internet cafes outside the school. Although he felt a little wasted. The classmates around him were similar, either playing football, watching movies, or playing games online. 大将 is relieved. After returning home from the summer vacation, 大将 stayed in the village for a few days and felt very bored. So he suggested to his father, nervously, that he wanted to go to his place to play for a few days. At least there is an internet cafe there. Father actually agreed for the first time. From a distance, 大将 saw his father waiting at the exit of the exit of the train station. After a year of baptism in college, 大将 felt for the first time that his father was so dazzling in the crowd. The clothes were tattered and too large to fit. He remade his father that the clothes were too old. Father father said that the one who worked hard was not sitting in the office. So why did he wear so new clothes? He said again, that is, that is too big. Father father said again, the clothes are bigger, so you can stretch stretch, so you can stretch your hands and feet when you walk. Otherwise, as soon as you stretch, as soon as you stretch out your hands, the clothes will be torn. Torn. What 大将 did not expect was that in 2003, his father, who had a monthly income of more than 4,000 yuan, living in the attic of a private house with only six or seven square meters. In addition to an iron framed bed, in addition to an iron framed bed, there is also a wooden shelf for the wash basin. Wash basin on the enamel basin. Enamel. On the enamel basin with many broken enamels, there is an old towel. There is an old towel that can be seen. 大将 always thought that his father lived in the city. It is a very comfortable day. I didn't expect it to be so hot. Father took 大将 back to his residence. And said, "You said I'm going to do some work." Then he went downstairs and walked away. 大将 couldn't sit down, so he quietly closed the door and went downstairs. Falling behind his father, he wanted to see what his father did. After a round of twists and turns, 大将 followed his father to the Xuzhou cloud storage. Storage to the Xuzhou cloud code. Storage code.
Cold.
To the Xuzhou cold storage. There were more than a dozen people who were similar to his father. Some pushing carts and some carrying coolers.
Pose.
some carrying poles. 大将 saw his father push out his own from the doormat. Charlie. At this moment, a large truck entered the compound. Compound. Entered the compound, and my father and everyone followed behind the truck and went in. A few minutes later, 大将 saw his father. He hunched. He hunched over a large cardboard box, walked a few steps, paused, wiped the sweat on his forehead. Sweat on his forehead with a towel tied around his wrist. Around his wrist. The W is not pronounced. Wrist. And walked a few steps forward, putting the cardboard box on his back on the trolley. Then ran to the big truck, and after a few seconds, hunched. And after a few seconds, hunched over another cardboard box. After repeating this for 7 times, my father pushed the car toward the ice house, hunched over his wrist. His legs clenched tightly, and 大将 could even see the blue wings on his father's legs from a few dozen meters away. It turns out that my father earned hard-earned money. 大将 is melancholy. He asked the doorman how much money can he make when he moved the goods. The doorman told him that it was 15 cents a box. 大将 calculated in his heart and his father shipped 7 boxes at a time, earning 3 yuan and 50 cents. 大将 went home that afternoon. He no longer thought about suffering. He no longer surfing the internet. He no longer surfing the internet, and his father blue wind. Wind. And his father's blue wind legs were always stretching in front of his eyes. He didn't even think about it, how much his father's sweat was wasted in the internet cafe. When Dajang returned to school, his father took out a thick, a thick wad of money from the bank.
Wad.
What? A thick wad.
Thick.
Took out a thick wad of money from the bank, counted it, and handed it over to Dajiang. Dajiang counted it and said, "This semester is short."
Semester.
Semester. This semester is short. 2,000 is enough. Speaking. Split half and leave it to my father. On this day, Dajiang is determined to be a good son and a good student. But this kind of thought quickly become a thing of the past. When those older playmates went to the internet cafe again, when he saw the game partner of Warcraft, intentionally or not, he could not help but feel restless in his heart. Finally, he walked into the internet cafe again. During the National Day, their roommates organized to go to karaoke, go to the bar, and even go to the sauna. The 2,000 yuan brought from home will be gone by the end of October. Dajiang called her mother and said that she had given birth some time ago. I fell ill, and the money I brought was spent. On the afternoon of the third day, Xian suddenly called down Dajiang, who was playing cards with his classmates in the dormitory. Received a call saying that someone was looking for him at the school gate. Dajiang ran to the school gate and saw his father. Father in his fifties, like a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old man, like a 7 years old. Like a 7-year-old man, old and tired, with a bed of cotton wool on his back.
Wool.
Cotton wool on his back. Dajiang took his father into the campus.
Campus.
Dajiang took his father into the campus and asked him in a low voice, "Why are you here? I left an account for my mother. You just put the money into that card. You have run so far, carrying this thing on your back. Hard work and waste of money." His father smiled at him and flatteringly, flatteringly,
Flatteringly.
flatteringly. His father smiled at him flatteringly, 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 and said, "Listen to your mother. You were sick. You were sick some time ago. How are you now? Are you okay? Eat well. Take care of yourself. You don't have to worry about living expense. As long as you can eat good health, good good grades, good good grades in school. No matter how much living expense, your father can afford it with the cotton she planted." 大将 murmured.
Moment.
大将 murmured. This well. On the way to the teaching building, my father said, "I'm I'm relieved. I'm relieved. I'm relieved to see that you are fine. I will go back after giving you the living expense. I I would I I won't affect you."
1.
I won't I won't wrong I won't affect you. 大将 took the money from his father. I wanted to bring my father to live in the hostel of the school, but my father said again, winter vacation, in 2 months. I brought you 3,000 yuan this time. You just got sick, so you need to eat better and take care of yourself. Only when you are stronger can you have the energy to study hard. Father stopped. Father stopped. Go back. 大将 know his father's temper, so he didn't say anything anymore. He was he was not far away when he turned around. He found his father still standing there and waved to him. Waved is the word. Let me check.
Waved.
Waved. His father still standing there and waved to him. He remembered that when he was in high school, every time his father sent every time his father sent him to the school in the county seat.
Seat.
Seat in the county seat. This scene. Tears overflowing. Tears overflowing my eyes. The shivered pearls.
Shriveled.
Shriveled.
Purse.
The shriveled pearls finally swelled up,
Swelled.
finally swelled up. The shriveled parts finally swelled up, and the monster that he had not seen for a week was calling 大将 again. After dinner, 大将 went to the internet cafe outside the school. After 5 hours of fierce fighting, after 5 hours of fierce fighting, after 5 hours of fierce fighting, 大将 was going back to the dormitory. As usual, he came to a big banyan tree.
Banyan.
He came to a big banyan tree outside the school again, and climbed the wall from there to enter the school. The moment he climbed over the wall, his heart suddenly echoed. The dim street lights.
Dim.
The dim street lights shone on his father.
Shone.
Shone on his father. He was leaning against the corner. He was leaning against the corner of the wall with a rugged cardboard box on him. The moment he climbed over the wall, his heart suddenly echoed. The dim street lights shone on his father. Shone. The moment he climbed over the wall, his heart suddenly echoed. The dim street lights shone. I forget.
Shone.
Shone. Shone on his father. He was leaning against the corner of the wall with a rugged cardboard box on him. At this moment, he was wrapping the coat padded clothes on his body. Scarf. Wrapped.
Scarf.
Wrapped tightly around the father's head. 大将 said this. He couldn't help crying again. After crying for a while, 大将 continued. Later, my mother told me that my dad heard that I was ill and wanted to see me desperately. Wanted to see me desperately. I couldn't buy a seat ticket, and I was reluctant and I was reluctant to buy a sleeper, so I came to CN after standing for more than 20 hours. In order to save money for accommodation, I squatted in the corner of our school all night. I cried on the phone. I cried on the phone. I pretended not to know until my mother told me. I pretended not to know until my mother told me, because I knew my father's stubbornness. Because I knew my father's stubbornness. Stub, stubborn. My Because I knew my father's stubbornness. I was even if you wake he up, he will stick around there. I quietly went back to the dormitory, but my heart was still in pain, thinking of his action of wrapping his clothes. I felt this distressed. distressed. I felt distressed. I deleted all the accounts related to the game overnight. Since then I have never been in an internet cafe. Since then I have never been in an internet cafe again, and I have never wasted a penny again.
Wasted.
And I have never wasted a penny again. That is from that day on. I prepared this lecture. lecture. I prepared.
Ledger.
lecture. I prepared this lecture and studied to make up for the schoolwork that I had lost in the past. I used to think that his life was bad and he didn't enjoy the blessings of life. The blessings of life. After that incident, I after that incident, I realized that it was not that he had no blessings, but that he was used to giving all the enjoyment to his son. He was being from the age of 17. He has been from the age of 17. Started to work in that freezer until last spring. 大将 couldn't go on anymore. I know that 大将's father passed away last spring, leaving 大将 with a deposit of 37. Leaving 大将 with a deposit of 300 and 17 1,000 yuan. 大将's father is the epitome
Epitome.
epitome 大将's father is the epitome. 大将's father is the epitome of many poor fathers, deep and selfless love. Fortunately, his children saw the father in the corner, and I know that there are many children who can't think of and can't see the lover in the corner. Okay, that's all.